The inflatable alligator was Evie's favorite thing in the backyard. That, and the plastic ring that sank to the bottom of the pool if you didn't sit on it just right. The pool itself wasn't much a 3-foot deep, above-ground affair her dad had set up for the blistering summer. But to Evie, it was an ocean. She was practicing her scientific observations, which mostly involved poking the alligator with a stick, when she saw the flicker, a flash of silver and cobalt blue, deep in the water, near the filter. She blinked, leaning over the edge, probably just a trick of the light, or a particularly shiny beetle that had fallen in. Then a face emerged. It wasn't a human face, not exactly. The skin was the pale, shimmering color of a mother-of-pearl button, eyes the size of saucers, and the color of the deep sea, regarded her without blinking. Hair, dark and streaked with vibrant seaweed green, floated like a halo around its head, and below the waterline, where a neck should meet shoulders, scales began iridescent and shifting from sapphire to silver with every slow, undulating movement of a powerful tail. A mermaid. Evie didn't scream. She was 7, and 7-year-olds who believe in fairies and dinosaur ghosts are uniquely prepared for such moments. She simply sat down, cross-legged on the hot concrete, and said, "You're not from the sprinkler." The mermaid's mouth, a small, bowl-shaped thing, didn't move, but a voice like the gentle chime of water glasses filled Evie's mind. "No, I am not." "How did you get here?" Evie whispered, scooting closer. "A current. A wrong turn in a deep, sweet-water river. I was chasing a light sprite." The mermaid's tail fin gave a listless flap, sloshing a tiny wave over the pool's edge. "This ocean is very small, and it smells of chlorine." "It's a pool," Evie explained. "My dad puts chemicals in it, for science." She felt a sudden need to defend it. "It's a very good pool." The mermaid looked unimpressed. She tried to move, her tail bumping against the vinyl wall with a soft thump. A delicate frown touched her features. "I am stuck." A wave of protectiveness washed over Evie. This was her ocean, and now it had her very own mermaid. She couldn't let her dad find out. He'd probably want to test the water's pH again. "I'll help you," Evie declared, with the absolute certainty of a child. "But you have to be quiet. My mom is inside making lemonade." For the next hour, Evie became a master of mermaid logistics. The problem was the pool ladder. The mermaid, who said her name was a series of bubbles and clicks that Evie decided to call Maris, couldn't fit through the narrow gap between the steps. Evie tried pushing her from underneath, which only resulted in a soaked t-shirt. She considered the garden hose as a makeshift winch, but abandoned the idea. Maris was growing visibly distressed, her gills, which Evie discovered were hidden along her ribs, fluttering anxiously. "The water grows thin. It does not sustain." Evie's mind raced. The water was bad for her. She needed to get back to her own water. Her eyes landed on the long, flat snout of the inflatable alligator. "I have an idea," she said. With a great heave, she pushed the alligator into the center of the pool. "Get on," she instructed. Maris looked at the floating plastic creature with deep suspicion. "It has a foolish face." "It's the best we have," Evie insisted. With effort, Maris hauled the magnificent weight of her tail out of the water and draped herself over the alligator. She looked ridiculous and magnificent all at once, a mythical creature beached on a cheap summer toy. Evie, grunting with effort, grabbed the alligator's tail and began to kick. She wasn't a strong swimmer, but desperation gave her strength. She kicked and paddled, pulling her strange raft in a slow circle. Maris held on, her tail trailing in the water. "I'm making a current," Evie sputtered, swallowing a mouthful of chlorinated water. "Like you said, a wrong turn current." She kicked harder, her small legs burning. She imagined her pool deepening, expanding, becoming a river that connected to the sea. She pictured the light sprite Maris had been chasing, and willed it to appear. She kicked for all the magic in the world that was ever stuck in a place that smelled of chemicals and needed to go home. A strange shimmer began to form in the deepest part of the pool. near the filter where she'd first seen the flicker. The water swirled against all the laws of pool physics, deepening in color to a profound, impossible blue. It is working. Maris's voice chimed in her head, full of hope. With a final, mighty kick from Evie, the current caught the inflatable alligator. It spun once, twice, and then was pulled gently downward into the shimmering vortex. Maris looked back at Evie, her huge eyes filled with gratitude. She raised a webbed hand in farewell. And then, she and the alligator were gone. The pool was just a pool again, 3 feet deep, smelling of chlorine, with a single plastic ring sitting at the bottom. Evie's mom came out later, holding a glass of lemonade. What on earth have you been doing? You're soaked. Evie, still catching her breath, pointed to the pool. I was helping a friend. Her mom smiled. Did your inflatable alligator sink? Dad will get it out later. No, Evie said, a secret smile playing on her lips. He went on a trip. That night, as her dad was closing up the backyard, he called out, Evie, did you put something in the pool? She ran to the door. No, why? He held up a piece of seaweed, vibrant green and shimmering with tiny, phosphorescent specks. It glowed with a soft, otherworldly light. Weird. Must have blown in from somewhere. But Evie knew. She took the seaweed and put it in a jar by her window. And on some nights, when the moon was full, she could have sworn she heard the distant, chiming laughter of a mermaid, riding the currents of a real ocean, on the back of a very foolish-looking alligator. The end. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe.